now an overview of the most common Python libraries and frameworks you can use for machine learning. It's especially when you start with machine learning and artificial intelligence, you always see this wealth of different libraries and packages and frameworks out there, but you also don't know which one is the best to use and what they are for. And so we prepared for you a notebook which gives you a high-level overview of the most common Python libraries and frameworks you can use for machine learning. And for each of the library and framework, we also give you a list of practical examples that are part of this course, of this massive open online course. And you can directly see a practical application of how this framework or library can be used in a machine learning context. So we are in week 2, where we introduce you to artificial intelligence and machine learning for Earth observation and for Earth monitoring. So in principle, there are many machine learning frameworks and it's hard to choose the right framework, and you also don't know the advantages and disadvantages of each. And so each framework and library has specific strengths, of course, and which one to use also strongly depends on the purpose and also your goal of your machine learning application. And for this reason, we prepared this short notebook and provide you a high-level overview of the 4 most recurrent libraries and frameworks that are used for Python at the moment. And these 4 frameworks and libraries are TensorFlow, which is a machine learning framework, Keras, which is a deep learning API, so specifically for deep learning applications, PyTorch, which is another machine learning framework, and scikit-learn, which is also a very commonly used machine learning framework. So the first framework we would like to introduce you is TensorFlow. TensorFlow is an end-to-end open source machine learning framework, and it is one of the core libraries that help you to develop and also train machine learning models. And initially, TensorFlow was developed by the Google Brain team for internal use, but now TensorFlow has been made openly available. And TensorFlow contains a comprehensive, flexible ecosystem of tools, libraries, and community resources. And it also offers multiple levels of abstraction, so you can choose the right one for your needs. The next API we would like to introduce you is Keras. And Keras is an API specifically for deep learning problems and applications. And Keras API can be installed as a standalone API, but since TensorFlow 2.0, it also comes as part of TensorFlow. So you can either use Keras as a standalone package or as part of TensorFlow. And Keras is especially known for its user-friendliness and also easiness to get started, especially when you start out with machine learning. As part of this AI for Earth monitoring MOOC, we have quite a few examples, specifically examples to show you deep learning applications. And all these applications use Keras on top of the TensorFlow framework. And here we provided you a list of examples for land applications, for ocean applications, and also for atmospheric applications. So we have 5 examples as part of this training course that apply Keras on top of TensorFlow, so you can see a practical example of how Keras and TensorFlow can be used in different deep learning applications. Another machine learning framework is PyTorch, and PyTorch is an open source machine learning framework developed by Facebook. And similar to TensorFlow, it offers also a rich ecosystem of libraries, tools, and other resources to support the fast development of machine learning applications. And PyTorch is specifically used in many research projects, and we have specifically one example that uses PyTorch, and this is part of week 6 where we introduce climate applications and machine learning. And the example on machine learning for flood prediction is a practical example that uses PyTorch. And the last library or framework we would like to introduce to you is scikit-learn. And this is also a very common and specific user-friendly framework that contains a great variety of useful tools which can be used for classification, regression, and also clustering problems. But at the same time, many of the examples that use, for example, Keras API or TensorFlow, they also use scikit-learn for some pre-processing steps, because scikit-learn also offers a rich set of pre-processing, dimensionality reduction, and also evaluation tools. So actually most of the practical examples we will introduce you during week 3 to 6 also make use to some sort of the scikit-learn framework. So scikit-learn is built on fundamental Python libraries such as NumPy, Matplotlib, and also the wider Python-based ecosystem SciPy. And we have also quite a, as I already said, so most of the practical examples, they use in some way scikit-learn to pre-process also data or to split some input data to a training and a testing subset. But we have also some examples that specifically use machine learning models that are part of the scikit-learn framework. And we made here a list of 5 practical examples that make use of scikit-learn, and specifically also the model scikit-learn offers. And with this, we are at the end, so I hope you have now a better understanding of some of the most common used Python libraries for machine learning.